An update tonight on a First Coast News investigation. The widow of this Marine veteran who died while under the care of a man pretending to be a nurse is now suing Bright Star Care, its former Jacksonville franchise, and the two people convicted in the criminal case. The lawsuit claims Bright Star Care was trusted to provide skilled nursing services to veterans as a provider in the VA Community Care Network. But the Moody family alleges that trust was broken. Now they're hoping this lawsuit leads to changes that better protect veterans.
We miss our dad. We missed out on his progress. We missed out on God's miracle. We missed out on the opportunity to actually be able to help him.
More than a year and a half after 69-year-old Marine veteran Kensworth Moody died at his Fleming Island home while being cared for by a man posing as a nurse, his widow and daughters say the fight for accountability is not over. What is justice for you?
To make sure that this doesn't happen to someone else, to make sure that the veterans are being handled correctly, taken care of, and they are safe in their home.
Sandra Moody has now filed a wrongful death lawsuit against the home healthcare corporation, Bright Star Care, and Humdum LLC, doing business as Bright Star Care of East Jacksonville, Neptune Beach. She's also suing convicted nurse impersonator Julian Williams and his fiancée Alexia Irwin, who both worked for the franchise. They pleaded guilty to criminal use of personal identification and practicing without a license. Williams also pleaded guilty to abuse or neglect of an elderly person. Although Moody's death was ruled natural, the investigation revealed home surveillance video that showed Williams failed to respond when the veteran showed signs of respiratory distress. A 60-page state report says he didn't alert the family, including Sandra, who is a nurse and was home at the time, and he failed to perform CPR or call for help. The lawsuit also alleges the franchise falsely represented Irwin as a nurse and continued employing her after it knew or should have known she was unlicensed, untrained, and unqualified. It also claims she hired other unlicensed, untrained, and unqualified staff.
It's a 17-count complaint involving both negligent hiring, negligent retention, negligent supervision, the negligence of Humdum, abuse and neglect of a vulnerable adult.
Darla Keene is representing the Moody family.
But it's important to note that the franchisor, Bright Star Franchising LLC, bears responsibility in this case.
The 46-page suit also alleges Bright Star's corporate office knew about staffing and hiring concerns months before Moody died, but failed to intervene. It cites this December 2023 notice of default sent from the corporation to the local franchise. The letter warned them about hiring nurses on an expedited basis without performing the required vetting, training, and other procedures. The franchise was given 30 days to correct the problems or risk losing its franchise agreement. The letter also noted previous complaints involving apparent dishonesty, including claims that patient care records falsely documented services that were never provided.
Bright Star Corporate knew of their hiring practices and what was going on there before Julian Williams ever walked through the front door of Sandra Moody's home.
Days after Moody's death, the state suspended the Jacksonville franchise's license to operate. The business remains closed. While Williams and Irwin are now in prison, Keene says the civil case is about holding everyone they believe shares responsibility accountable.
Kensworth Moody was accountable to our country. He dedicated himself again for over 2 decades, and the healthcare system absolutely failed him in this case. The defendants in this case chose a paycheck, and Kensworth Moody paid for his life.
We reached out to the franchise owner, but his attorney said he declined to comment and would only say he denies all wrongdoing.
The civil part is more of just making sure nobody has the audacity to ever try to do something like this ever again.
The lawsuit seeks unspecified damages.
It's not about money, it's about the life.
There's not $1 that could replace the amount of time that we've suffered to fight for this case alone, but just the grief that we are going through, the events of this happening to us, the trauma that has come with this. But it's about understanding that this should not ever have happened to anyone. And we just want justice to truly be served.
Now, we reached out to BrightStar Care's corporate office multiple times about the lawsuit, but did not receive a response. In a previous statement last year, the corporation told us that client safety is its top priority, and it had terminated the franchise agreement. When we asked the VA if BrightStar is still a provider in the VA Community Care Network, a spokesperson told us the VA does not comment on pending litigation. As for Julian Williams and Alexia Irwin, he was sentenced in April to 20 years in prison. She was sentenced to 2 years.